talked about it for years, and I'm glad it finally come together. I like this part of the world. I came here last August with my little boy, and we're coming again this August, and it's he digs this place. But I'm pretty sure at this point in my life that I was put here to do this job that I do. But a gift is one thing. Teachers are still really, really important. We probably undervalue teachers in a really serious way in this society.
That's me.
Maybe while we're in some of the trouble that we're in. But I had some good teachers, and I had some of them at school. I did get 3 fucking football coaches as English teachers in a row. That was kind of a drag, but it was Texas. What can you say? It's priorities. But I had a couple of teachers that knew exactly what they were looking at and that I wasn't going to be there very long. And I have to give them a shout out. They made sure I got a hold of the right records and the right books. And one of them was George Chambers, who taught biology at Holmes High School. I learned biology in other places, but he had one of the best local country bands in San Antonio. And he's retired from teaching, but he still plays in the San Antonio area to this day. And Vernon Carroll, who was my drama teacher. And my first Bob Dylan record was Highway 61 because of my age. Vernon Carroll turned me on to Shakespeare and the freewheeling Bob Dylan. That's how I started backtracking to those earlier Bob Dylan records. And he retired just a few years ago and finished his career teaching kids in the Rio Grande Valley. Theater, Shakespeare, as a way of teaching English as a second language, which I think is really cool. But I did drop out as they predicted, and then when I was 17 years old, I met Townes Van Zandt. And I followed him around Texas for a couple of years. And when I figured out he wasn't gonna light anywhere, I went on to Nashville when I was 19, and I met Guy Clark. Guy and Townes were very different teachers. Townes was like, give you a copy of Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee and tell you to put the cap on the bottle or somebody will kick it over when they come by, which was useful information in my life at the time. Guy would show me how he laid a song out on the page, and he told me to write with a pencil and a big eraser, and that songs aren't finished until you play them for people. He also taught me some things that we both unlearned. He told me not to use a thesaurus or a rhyme dictionary. Years later, he admitted to me he had started using both, and I admitted to him I've been using the fuck out of him for years. And still do to this day. But Guy passed away last year, and it was hard on all of us, but me and Rodney Crowell in particular, because we were both teenagers when we got to Nashville, and Guy and Susanna Clark helped finish raising us. And Guy, the last time I went to visit Guy, he was in a hospital, and they'd been in and out of there for a long time, and a lot of people thought it was be nice to bring him some barbecue. And I was just on my way to the airport. I wasn't planning on eating the good because all the barbecue was gone. But there was 10 or 11 people in little groups, kind of visiting the way people are when they're hanging out with somebody that's sick. And Guy was playing possum because he was sick of talking to people, I think, because I walked over to the bed and I knew he wasn't really asleep. I said, so Guy, how was that barbecue? And he opened one eye and he looked around me and he said, pork. Guy was from Texas, and he, after 44 years in Tennessee, never accepted pork as proper barbecue. It's like, I'm a polygamist when it comes to smoked meat myself, but he was pretty hard-headed about that. So the last things that my greatest teacher said to me was pork, but it was very Guy. So I went home and got a call a few nights later that he wasn't doing very well from Rodney, and the next morning I got a text that just said gone. And we had a wake in Nashville. A lot of people showed up. We sang some songs and we cried. And then a few of us got on a tour bus and we took Guy's ashes to Santa Fe, New Mexico, to Terry Allen's house. And Terry's a songwriter, but he's also a sculptor and one of Guy's best friends. And Guy had said that he wanted his ashes to end up in a bronze of Terry's making. So that's where he is right now on Terry's mantle, waiting for that bronze to be completed. That takes a while. And we arrived at sunset the next day, most beautiful land-based sunset I've ever seen. And Lyle Lovett flew in, Robert Earl Keen, Emmylou Harris was there, Jack Ingram, Joe Ely, and we sang some more songs and we cried some more. And when I got home, I made this up. enough to draw a line. Goodbye, maestro, farewell. Gone to heaven, been to hell. Maybe just New Mexico. Goodbye, Michelangelo. Farewell, my captain, adios. Sail upon the sea of ghosts. Chase the white whale to the end. Bring the story back again. I'm bound to follow you someday. You have always shown the way. So we knew where we had to go. Goodbye, Michelangelo. Bye-bye, just like it did before. And forever is just goodbye till there come my time. I won't have to travel blind.